In PowerPoint, it's possible to have animations on slides, things appearing, disappearing, moving, and so on. But you want to make sure those animations help your audience rather than are there to just sort of impress them and really distract them. You don't want to be competing with your slides for your audience's attention. I'm going to show a very, very simple animation that can really help with that. If this slide comes on screen when I'm presenting, my audience will be immediately presented with a big list of things. And then this is sort of a demo, so this is obviously not real content. And while I'm speaking about this first element right here, some context, their eyes are automatically traveling down this list, at the very least just sort of spending time reading each of these while they may or may not be able to devote much attention to what I'm saying. And they may even be already considering something ahead rather than listening to what I'm saying. So what I want to do is have it so that this list appears on screen as I click repeatedly with the mouse. And therefore, only the latest item is on screen that I'm currently talking about, rather than the whole list from the beginning. So with this slide built, I'm going to go to the Animations tab. And then I'm going to select this list of text. Click and drag in order to highlight or select it. And then I'm going to go up either to this drop down here, or I can go to Add Animation. Let's go to this one. And under the Entrance collection, I'm just going to choose Appear. Now, PowerPoint has made it clear that one click past the click that got me to this slide is going to cause all of these to appear all at once, but I want to do some other things. I'm going to click Animation Pane on this ribbon, and that brings up a little manager for the animations. Now, if these are not already highlighted, I can highlight them by clicking the first one, holding down the Shift key, and clicking the last one. Then I'll click the drop-down menu caret and choose Start on Click. And what that's told PowerPoint is, I don't want them all to appear on the first click on this slide. I want them to appear after a set of clicks. So let's try that out. I'm going to go to Slideshow and say Play from Current Slide. And then I'll click the mouse, and I see one. I click again, I see another. So I can discuss each of these in turn while the rest of the list is not yet visible. Now, if I wanted to get even fancier, I can highlight this text again, go back to Animations, click Add Animation, and choose Transparency. And what this does is, after all of these clicks, on the next click, it causes all of these to go transparent. That is, they're no longer as dark. And I can sort of preview that. What I'd like to do is have it so that when I click to see more context, then some context, which is already visible on screen, goes transparent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this action labeled some context underneath more context. Then I'm going to click the drop-down menu and say Start with Previous. And that tells this to act as soon as I click to see more context appear on screen. Then some context goes transparent. And then I just repeat the process. Now, when I get down to this last one, I don't need this one to go transparent because I'm done with the slide. At that point, I want my next click to take me to my next slide. So I'll just go ahead and remove this one. Now that this is built, let's try it out. So I'll go to Slideshow from Current Slide. Okay, I've got my first point up. I'm talking about that. I want to go to the next point. I go to the next point and the first point dims. And so on with each successive click. And that means I'm highlighting the point that I'm talking about, and points that I've already talked about are dimmed. In PowerPoint, it's possible for me to adjust the transparency to make these go even more transparent or dimmer, so to speak.